Hi guys, it's Miss Acton. My page is just taking forever to load up. You know, Miss Acton's always having trouble with her technology. But this week you are doing math. Hello! So let's do some math with each other. So we're going to build on what Miss Jess started teaching you last week with the 10 sticks. We're going to make it just a little bit trickier this week. You got to challenge yourselves this week. So what will you do after this video? You'll be able to say, I will solve an addition equation using models. So when you're done watching this video, you'll finish your Google form that you found me in here. Once you're done with your Google form, you will be able to solve each of those equations correctly. If you don't solve them correctly, that means you weren't really paying attention to the video and you probably need to watch it again, okay? So let's get started. So this is the type of equations that you guys were seeing with Miss Jess last week with just the 10 sticks. And you were taught to count how much is there by tens. So you would count 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So that number is 50. 10, 20. That number is 20. You're going to be doing the same thing today, but you're going to add an extra step to it. Counting the ones. There's our ones cubes right there. So with our 10 sticks, you count by tens. With our 10 sticks, you count by 10. With your ones cubes, you count by ones. With your ones cubes, you count by ones. What I mean by ones, I mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What you've been doing since you were in kindergarten, some of y'all in preschool, and some of y'all before y'all even started school, when you were itty bitty babies, 1, 2, and 3. The 10 sticks are a little bit harder, but you practiced that all week last week. If you were really focused and determined and watching those videos of Miss Just, you worked on that and did it in those forms, you should have that down pat. Now we need to add something else to make it a little more challenging, to get you smarter and get those brains moving. So this number has 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 in it too, but then we have to count those ones. So when you get to 50, you switch that switch in your brain. Go from counting tens to counting by ones. So you do 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54. That number is 54. This one down here, 10, 20, flip that switch, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Or sorry, I'm losing it, you guys. Let's try that again. 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. That answer is 25. So now we're going to move to a different step. So since you all have got this down pat, I know you guys were doing some sort of this stuff a few weeks ago with Miss Jess. Now we're going to flip the switch to where we're going to be taking these numbers and adding them together. We're not just counting them anymore. We're adding them together. So first off, let's figure out what this first number is. Count with me. 10, 20, 30, flip the switch, 31, 32, 33. Flip that switch when we start to count to those ones. That number is 33. See what this one is. 10, flip that switch, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now we need to add those two together. To add with models, all you do is count how many models that you have. That's it. You just take all of these models right here and you just add them together. All of these models right here just need to be added together. There's two ways that you could do this. There's the way that I think is easiest and a different way, but our brains work differently. I learn differently than you guys do. Miss Ramos learns differently than you guys do. Miss Just learns differently than I do. Dr. Naxis learns differently than some people in our building do too. So one way might not work and the other one might. So it just depends. But this is the way that I think is the easiest. So you know that whenever we talk about place value, that there is a tens column and a ones column. And we know our numbers like 33 will go into our column like this, and our number 14 will go into our columns like this. And that shows you that we have 3 ones, 1, 2, 3, and 3 tens, 1, 2, 3. It also shows you that we have 1 10 and the number 14, and we have 4 ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the number 14. You can follow that same pattern by just taking all of the tens and all of the ones together and putting them in that tens and ones column. So there's our tens column, there's our ones column. Let's count all of our ones together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 ones. And let's count all of our tens. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that tells me my answer is 47. Now that's the first way that you do it. So all you do is just count how many ones that you have, and you always start with ones. Never count your tens first. Next week, or maybe the week after that, you'll find out, or even at the end of this week, if you guys really catch on to this, Miss Acton will start teaching you at the end of this week. You'll see why it's so important that you count your ones first and not your tens first. You're like, well, I should count the bigger numbers first, right? 10, 20, 30. 30 is a lot bigger than 3 is. I get that and I understand why you would think that, but just trust me. Count those ones first. So you count those ones and put them in the ones column, and then you count the tens and put them in the tens column, and it just magically turns out to be your number. It's kind of like a shortcut, like a trick, like you're cheating a little bit. And it's easier. There's a lot less steps. But if your brain just doesn't get it, doesn't understand it, the second way that you do it is just to count. Just to count. 10, 20, 30, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47. We got 47 both times. We did 2 different ways, but we always get the answer. So it's just whatever your brain is happier with. Whatever way I just showed you, and I'm going to show you it 3 more times. Whatever way that your brain's like, aha, I get it. How cool. That's probably the one that you should stick with. Whichever one that your brain's like, what in the world did she just do? I'm so confused. Miss Acton, you need to go back and do that again. Maybe you should pay attention to the second one because it might help you a little bit better. Just depends. All right, let's go to the next one so I can show you both ways again. All right, so first number, 36, 3 tens, 6 ones. Next number, 33, 3 tens, 3 ones. So let's do the first way. I think this is the easiest way. You think of your numbers as a column. It's our place value column. You got your tens and your ones. And I know a 0 is kind of weird, but that's because ones is spelled like this. And then tens is spelled T-E-N-S. That's why it's a T and a O. Don't want you to be confused by that. So when I say the tens and ones column, I put the T and the O just because it takes a lot less time to write tens and ones. Oh, come on. There we go. So I mean, I can write tens if you want me to. It might make it less confusing. And then ones. That's my tens and ones column. So first thing you do is count your ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 ones. Then we count our tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tens. My answer is 69. That's the first way. That's the easiest way, I think. That's just my opinion. How many ones do I have? 9, put it in the ones column. How many tens do I have? 6, put it in the 6 column. My answer is 69. But if your brain just does not work that way, counting 10 sticks and ones cubes is weird, you don't like it, then you can get it to where you combine all of them together. This is how. I'm going to start Xing them out the other way so I don't have to erase all of it. So you would just count all of them. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, and 69. You got 69 again. Either way that you do it, your answer to this problem is going to be 69. So again, it's just whatever way that your brain is happier with. I know for a fact whenever I was in 2nd grade and my teachers were showing me stuff like this, I remember so vividly. I remember like it was yesterday. And I was like, what is my teacher doing? And then like she would show me a different way. My brain would be like, oh my gosh, I get it. I understand now. And if I was smart back then, and if my teacher would have told me what I'm telling you now, just to stick with that strategy and use that one because it's reliable and it'll get you the right answer. But my teacher never told me that because she wanted me to solve it the way she wanted to, not that teacher. Whatever way makes your brain happy, whatever your brain understands, do it that way. I'm not making you choose a side, you choose your own side. Choose whatever that brain is making you happier. All right, so I got one more that I'm going to show you. So this one, oh, sorry. Go back. Come back. All right, so this one, our top number, isn't going to be shown to us. And it really isn't important. I mean, you can tell what it is if you want to, but I'm going to show you how if you don't, it doesn't matter. You can still find out the answer. So if someone just said, hey, I need you to just add all these blocks together. Okay. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Oh, I'm not using my pen. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55. So that way, so my answer is 55. Now let's try it with our tens and ones column. Wow, that is sloppy. Remember, with this one, you just count up your ones and count up your tens as two separate numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 ones. How many tens do you think I'm going to have? You think? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tens. Either way, my number is 55. And then look, at the beginning of this, we made it such a big deal for you to know that this number is 14 and that this number down here is 41. It really wasn't important with models. All that matters is that you count the models correctly. And it doesn't matter how you count them correctly, what strategy you use, just as long as you count them correctly. So it doesn't really matter what the two numbers are when you first start off. Now, if it's a problem where it says, what's the equation for these models, and then solve the equation, that's kind of important. But with this one, it's really wasn't an issue. Oh, erase. Really wasn't an issue, so you really don't have to worry about it. So I think I've got one more example to show you. So if there's one time that you need to pay extra close attention, it needs to be now, because after I show you this example, you are on your own to solve 4 equations just like this on your own. And if I was you, this next one, I would go get a piece of paper and a pencil or something to write with. I would go get a piece of paper and a pencil. I would push pause on this video, go get that, and then unpause it, and then try to solve this with me. All right, so I'd pause the video, go get your supplies, your pencil and your paper, and then unpause the video when you come back. All right, so if you're here, it means you got a piece of paper and a pencil and you're ready, your brain's ready to go. I want you to find out what the sum is of this equation. What's the answer? Count all those blocks up and tell me what the answer is. Pause the video and give me the answer. All right, if you unpaused it, it means that you have a piece of paper and a pencil, you did your work and found out what your answer is, and you have an answer ready to show me. So if your answer looks like this, oh, come on, man, then you are right. So we've got 2 10 sticks. That means a 2 goes in my tens column, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones. So 5 goes in my ones column, or I count 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Either way, I get the answer 25. Did you get it right? If you didn't, I would go back and watch this video again, or even go to YouTube and put in YouTube addition within 100, adding two-digit numbers together. You could even get even sillier and do two-digit numbers adding together with models, and look at different examples to try to help you, because this is not going to get any easier. You just got to keep practicing and keep looking at these examples. That's the only way it's going to get easier. So have fun answering those 4 questions. Please answer them correctly. Use a pencil and a paper to help you if you need it, or you can just sit there with your finger and sit there and count all those tens and ones cubes on the form and tell me what those answers are. Bye, guys.